Matter News, where I'll be covering the latest news on Dead Matter. Now, I apologize for being late to the party. School is really liking me at the moment, and I've hardly had the time to make a video, so I used some of that time to just relax. Hope you guys understand. But anyways, I'm here now. The 9th Dev Diary was released as of February 4th, 2018, revealing a new vehicle, a new player model, a new location, and a ton of other contents to go over. And I'll be discussing all of that in this video right now. Let's do this. Let's start first with Johnny saying that there will be gameplay videos and trailers coming up in spring, so we'll now be getting more footage of gameplay that will be up to date. They also mentioned in Discord how the old Kickstarter video is really not up to date and that they really want to show us the game that is in its current state, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Chaos has been creating industrial sets from the inside and out. That means we will be able to go inside this building and either loot the area or maybe find something more that we can do inside the building. We'll have to wait and see if we can get any more insight on that subject. Chaos also added more works towards the train tracks as well as reworked the night sky. Keep it up, Chaos. Dogtooth gives us a good look of what the base player model would be in Dead Matter. He states that these models will be customizable, so accessories like hairstyles, body hair, and facial detail will be customizable. I wonder if we would also be able to customize the size of our player's body, whether if we can make our characters thin, muscular, short, tall, or overweight. But I believe there should be a cap on all these features to keep it somewhat realistic. Games like Ark allows you to have disproportionate figures, which I don't find appealing. What do you guys think about that? Comment down below on what we should be able to customize. I'd like to hear your opinion. Oh, and I'd like to mention that those nips don't seem right to me. It's as if they're staring into my soul. Oh God! Oh God! Next up is Nomad. He is working on a vehicle at the moment. Although it is not completed yet, Nomad is debating whether to finish creating the vehicle on a live stream. The model of this truck is a 1985 Ford F-150, and you can see a reference of what type of exterior and interior Nomad is trying to go for. He also says this: the vehicle will let you know what state it is in through audio cues and the dashboards with its indicator lights and gauges indicating how much fuel you have left if your high beams are active. Now, there was a part in my interview with Johnny where we were discussing about the warning signals that goes off in vehicles in real life. Johnny said it himself that the signals are confirmed to actually correlate with the driving gameplay. For example, that means when your gas indicator flashes on your dashboard, then that lets you know that you're running low on fuel. So seeing that type of mechanic play out in the game brings a different atmosphere of immersion. Nomad showed us a file where he saved all these images for the truck to keep as a reference and help him out to create a replica of the Ford F-150. Up next, Shirk has been finalizing a modular bunker. This makes it easier for the devs to build more structures throughout the map of Calgary, making each bunker unique and different from the other. He wants to add a little more towards these bunkers in the near future, so keep a lookout for that. After finishing the bunker, Shirk has already moved on to building some new locations. To be specific, he's making a diner, and to be more specific, it's called Dick's Diner. There was a conversation going on in Discord about dicks, and I gotta say, it was pretty gruesome. I wanted to volunteer and make a joke out of my name, and you guys know that my Discord name is Ivivik, right? Well, from now on, you guys are calling me Ive Big Dick. And Shirk took that literally. Thanks, Shirk. The diner can be beneficial towards cooking. Compared to residential homes, big fridges and stoves can have more capacity to store food and cooked food. Within the cooking system, places like the diner will give players a higher output in food and bigger quantities. While the Dev Diary only shows an early build of the diner, Shirk has already streamed himself building the diner and almost finishing up. You can see that in the background of this video, and so far this is the only footage I can really play in the background. Let's all hope the new gameplay videos will come out soon. Unfortunately, Dusty has been under the weather for personal matter. While he couldn't give us any weapons to see, he did make some food models that we will be using in the game. Junie has been working on more secret projects behind the scenes, but he did show an early stage of the menu screen with server lists. You can see that the actual server is working and listed in the browser. There are different categories that list in the description of the server. We got server names, which is a no-brainer. There is the player slots, which I was surprised to see. It was out of 60 players already for just a testing server. There is a map category to list the different maps that the server is playing. I wouldn't think that Quantum Integrity would be making another map since the first map is based in Calgary and the whole game in general. Unless I'm wrong and they'll be adding more down the line, but I hardly doubt that. In any case, we would have modders creating community maps for everyone else to play. This would mean we could play more game modes that are not just zombie survival, which I'll be looking forward to. We'll probably see more game modes that the community has made later on, which happens a lot in video games like Halo, Counter-Strike, and Gary's Mod. Although this is an early stage of the server menu, what I do hope to see in the game is a filter for servers. That way players can search up servers specifically to how they like it. A good example of that is how Battlefield always used filters for the players to find what they want. They would have game modes, maps, regions, available slots, slot quantity, and server ranking. Another small addition would be having a column of the server ping would be really important for the player, because nobody wants to join a laggy server or join a server that's literally across the world. Now, I'm not too sure what latency is in this situation. Don't flame me on this one, but I only found a definition close enough. It says this: the delay before a transfer of data begins following an instruction for its transfer. But I have a feeling like that could be wrong since I have no clue what the definition meant. Comment below what the word latency would mean for the server. Not only did it show a server list going on in the menus, but it also showed the player's customization tab. That's where you'll be making your character at the start of the game. Although I'm not sure if you can change your clothes in that tab, I would recommend not to do that because having to go through the menus just to change your clothing would be more of a hassle rather than going to your inventory to change your clothes there. Just remember guys that this is an early build of the menus, so I expect to see plenty of changes happening as time passes. We might not even see the player customization in that part of the menu, who knows. And that is where the dev diary ends. So far people have been enjoying a lot of the juicy content that the devs have been squeezing into our mouths. And I taste a little bit of grapefruit, to be honest. But I am not just gonna end it there, folks. I still got a little more news to cover before this video ends, and here it is. The same anonymous user that sent me the Force clip has sent me an image of a player going through some tests, but unfortunately this person wanted to tease the hell out of me and blur the image as much as possible. Well, if you look closely, you can see some fire axes mounted on the wall. We already know from previous diaries that it will be in the game. You can see a backpack model that the player is carrying, which we already know is going to be in the game. And that's all I can see. I can't spot anything else with this blur in the way. If you guys can see something, then let me know down in the comments. Last thing to mention before I head off, Junie gave us the amount of storage that Dead Matter has at the moment. He says that it is currently at 20 gigabytes. Of course, since the game is still in pre-alpha, we will most likely see an increase in storage for that game. So that'll be it for this video. I actually have more news to cover, but I believe that this topic should have a video for itself. And of course I can't post this often because school loves to give me enough homework where I hardly have this free time, but I'll do the best I can to post regularly. So what do you guys think about the industrial building that Chaos made? Do you think it has any other use other than looting? Share me your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like and subscribe to get the latest news on Dead Matter. We'll probably see more game modes that the community has. We'll probably